This is a short explanation about how I'd like you to use Google Docs for this class. Specifically, I'll cover some of the very basics of getting started with Google Docs, how to share your Google Doc with other students and with me so that everyone can edit it, and how to comment on each other's Google Docs, and also how to hand in your Google Doc with me with all the comments left open. So I've been using Google Docs in my own teaching and my own writing for quite a while now. I think it's a really easy to use software. It doesn't have as many features as a program like Microsoft Word, but I don't need any of those extra features. It's only associated with a browser, which means it's cross-platform. It's a Mac, PC, whatever. You can share each other's Google documents. I do recommend using Chrome as the browser, and as a slight tangent for this, I would recommend that anybody who doesn't have multiple browsers to have more than one. It's really great to use for collaboration because with Google Docs you can be working on the same file literally at the same time. And it's really useful for my purposes as a teacher because I get a little bit of an insight into your process in terms of the changes you've made and edits and revisions and such. So let's see how it works. Browser window here, and the first thing I'm going to do to open Google Docs is I'm going to click on this little thing with the Google Apps in the corner, and this is my EMU account, and I'm going to click where it says Docs. And there's a bunch of different ways to do this, and if I was looking for a different document to open, I might do that, but I'm just going to click where it says blank, and I'll start by giving it a title, and then there's these various menu features here you can sort of figure out how to play around with. This is the sort of size that it looks like on the screen. This is the size of the text. This is if you wanted to do something that was more code-like or HTML-like with heading size and stuff. This is the name of the font. I'm kind of personally a Times New Roman fan, so I picked that. I like 12 because that's about the right size for me. Then it's just really a matter of typing. And just to speed this up a bit. Okay, so now I've got some text there. Again, we picked this all as 12 point, but obviously you could make it bigger or smaller or whatever. If you want to make something bold, you can make it bold, you can make it italics, you can change the color, you get the idea, okay? If you want to make something a link, you can highlight a phrase, click in the link. This will highlight text, left justify, center, right justify. Generally should be left-sided like this. Generally speaking, as far as line spacing goes, I recommend double space because it's a little bit easier to read that way. But you can also do other things. Now, just to sort of format this a little bit, if I push tab, I can get that. If I push return, get a new paragraph, I automatically get a tab. And if I wanted to, I could put bullets by that list and so forth. Okay, so it works pretty much like a regular word processor. You can save it, but it will save every few seconds automatically. Now, to share the document, which is the trickiest part of this whole process, what you have to do is you click this button that says share. Okay, and then what you want to do, yes, I get it. Then what you want to do is actually click where here it says change link to Eastern Michigan University. Anyone at this group, that is anybody at EMU, can view this, but you also want to change this so anyone can edit it, okay? Now, the reason why you want to change it so anyone can edit it is because that will allow me to view the history of your file. I'll show you this in a second. And also, it just makes it easier for everybody to share and view and comment on it. Now look, no one's going to change your document. And the other thing with it is too, is that you can always go back a step or two in the process. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a second too. Okay, so then that link right there, copy link, that link is what you're going to share with us by posting that link to some discussion space or an assignment on Canvas. All right. Now, once you've shared the documents with everybody, what we'll do is we'll eventually get around to commenting on each other's essays. And to comment, it's very, very easy. So I've highlighted Lazy Dog there. I click where it says Insert Comment. And then I just ask a question, for example, such as, why was that dog so lazy? And then comment. And then it could be another example of that sort of thing. And then those comments will appear to everyone else. Now, the other thing that's nice about that is that other readers can go to these comments and make their own comments. So, for example, pretend I was somebody else. I could click on there and say, that is a good question. What about that lazy dog? Or, me too. Okay. When you get done to hand this in, you make all your revisions. Whatever changes you make will be in this document. So you'll use this document to create your draft. But you'll also make any revisions in this document. Okay, even if you were to delete everything and start all over, you still want to use this document to hand it in. The other thing is that it's very tempting that what you're going to want to do when you go through here as a reader is you're going to want to like close these comments up like that. Don't do that. Okay. Leave all those comments open. And the reason why I want you to leave all these comments open, don't resolve it, is because I want to be able to see these comments as well. Okay? So again, leave all the comments open. Let me reopen this one too. And so that way, when I get to look at this, I can see the comments that other people have made, and then I might actually make additional comments on those comments as well. All right? Couple last things. You can always go back in time with your document. So I selected under File and I selected Version History. So I see Version History. And what you'll notice here is that actually this document has been saved several different times. So there's this version, there's this version of the document, which is where it completely started. Then there's this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. And I can step back anytime and see any of those different versions of that document. That's useful for me reading it as a teacher because then I get a sense of like what did this person do to make revisions. It's also useful for you to realize that you're not going to lose things even if somebody changes it or something goes wrong or you did something you decided you didn't want to do. You can always go back in time. And you'll notice that in this very short period of time, it saved that file about every minute. Okay, to sum up what I just went over here, once you create a Google document for an assignment in the class, keep working with that Google document from the drafting stages to the revision stages to the revision again stages, okay? Be sure to share the Google Doc properly. It's really easy to forget how to do that. And pay attention to your email and such because I will remind you if you didn't share the Google Doc correctly. Always share the URL or the link to the Google Doc. Don't use the embed feature in Canvas. That does some kind of strange things with it. And also comment on each of those drafts using the comment feature in Google Doc. And last but not least, do not close the comments when you hand them in. I know it makes it look messy, but it's a lot easier for me than to see the kind of comments that everybody made.